So this is usually where I film all my videos, in front of this big window, and my husband decided to reorganize his sock drawer and then left his socks laying all over my filming desk and on the floor. There's my tripod. And then my super messy bed, so now I gotta clean before I film. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing another Chit Chat GRWM. I just had some updates on that eBay thing, and I just needed to get ready for the day, so I figured this would just be a good time to do another one of these. So before I get started, I'm going to do my primer, because I like to do that and then let it sit for a few minutes. So I've got my my Project Use It Up bag of stuff, and then I'm trying to find, oh there it is. So I'll use either one of two things. I'll use the Mineral Fusion primer that I mentioned in my Project Use It Up bag, but I'll use this if I'm not leaving the house or if I'm going out like at night or something and I don't need any sun protection. So the other thing that I'll use if I am going to leave the house is this Mineral Fusion Untinted BB cream in SPF 30. I like to use this under my makeup. I've used it quite a few times, and I do like that it helps my makeup stay on longer. So I'm gonna do this, and then I like to let it sit for like 5 minutes before I start. So I'm just taking like a glob. It's always hard to get like the right amount of product with this, because like it turns your face really white and it takes a little while to like work it in. I'll show you. So there's my white. Well, I guess today didn't take so long to work in, but I've the first time I used it, I used a lot, and it took me a really long time to work it in. So, and I like this stuff. It's vegan, gluten-free, paraben-free. The only thing that's in it that some of you guys might not be okay with is the phenoxyethanol, but it's the second to the last ingredient, and everything else before that is pretty natural, and there's like a lot of good vitamins and minerals and extracts in here. So I know that there's another one made by Allure that's an untinted BB cream with SPF in it, and I actually have that I'm going to use after this. So and that one doesn't have phenoxyethanol in it, so if you're looking for something like this to use as like a makeup primer or like sunscreen or something, look into this one or the other one. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes and then I'll be back. Okay. So everything that I'm using, I'm pulling pretty much right out of my project pan, except for some eye stuff, which I'll talk about later, but I'm not going to mention everything that I'm using, because I'll just link my Project Use It Up video below, and then you'll know exactly what I'm using. So just like in a small, I guess an update on the eBay thing that I mentioned in my last Get Ready With Me video. So just like a quick back story. So my husband sold a Logic board on eBay. It was for nearly $300. It was new, or it wasn't new, but it was from his computer and it worked when he sent it out. So the guy that we sent it to claimed that it was dead and he wanted his money back, but he didn't want to actually send the part back, which we knew right away sort of meant like he was trying to scam us, because why else wouldn't you send it back? So after a lot of back and forth, and we called eBay like 4 times, eBay finally told him that you need to send it back if you want a refund. So, and I had also mentioned to eBay that I was afraid that he wasn't going to send back all of the pieces. Like there were some screws to connect it to the computer, there was some RAM that was attached to it, and then there was like a fan that attaches to it. All those things you need for it to work anyway. So I told them that I was afraid that he was going to send it back without one or all of those pieces. So, and I said, well, what happens if he sends it back without the pieces? And they said that we would call them when we got the part and it didn't have all of the pieces, and then we would file an appeal or something like that. So he shipped it out the day after eBay told him to do it. So they told him on the 7th, you need to ship it out if you want your money back, and he shipped it out on the 8th. And it took a long time to get to us. He sent it UPS from Minnesota, or I'm going to sound really stupid, but whatever MN is, I don't know what that is. Geography was not one of my Still isn't one of my top subjects. So he shipped it from there. And so it took, I think we got it on, it was the day my husband worked. Oh no, he was off. So it was Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. It came on a Wednesday, and it came last Wednesday. So it took, what was last Wednesday? I don't know, I'm so bad with dates. So he shipped it on the 8th, and it got to us on Tuesday the 19th. So it took like 9 days, which is, even for ground shipping for UPS, that's a long time. So anyway, so it came in a box bigger than what we shipped it in. And I waited until my husband got home because he was out, and I wanted to record it. Just, you know, for proof that we were opening it for the first time, you know, stuff like that. So when he came home, I pulled out my iPhone and I started recording, and he opened up the box. So, and the first thing he noticed, like the first thing I was afraid of is that it was going to be like damaged, like there was going to be some kind of physical damage to it. And it doesn't appear that there was, but the first thing that my husband noticed is the RAM was missing. There was actually RAM attached to it, so it wasn't like separately in the box. There was RAM attached to the device when we shipped it out, and that shows in the photo that my husband posted on eBay. That was exactly how he shipped it out. So the RAM was removed. It was like totally empty. There was no RAM on the device. There were no screws in the box, and the fan was missing. So one of the things that the guy had said when because I had called eBay and I said, well, I'm afraid he's not going to send all the pieces back. And they said, well, you're within your rights to file an appeal if he does that. So then I had messaged him. This was one of the last messages I sent to him when I said, I called eBay. They verified that you're, one, not allowed to call me, because he had called and left a 2-minute voicemail on my husband's phone. It was like a threatening voicemail, talking about how he was going to go to the police if we didn't give him his money back, and like blah, 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 all this stuff. Like he was trying to scare us, but I knew better. So I told eBay that he called us and left a harassing voicemail on my husband's phone, and they said, yeah, he's not allowed to call you. That's against our policy because all communication is supposed to be done through eBay. So I told him that he's not allowed to call us. I also told him that eBay said that if he doesn't send back all of the pieces, that we're within our rights to file an appeal and not give him a refund. So the message that he sent after that was, oh, you found out my scam all along. I was just trying to keep the screws and send back your dead board, or some nonsense. Like I would sit here and I would read you all the emails, because literally the conversation that took place was just, it was really ridiculous. I couldn't even believe that this had happened, but I'm not gonna sit here and read all the emails. So he had said, in the very last email that he sent, he basically admitted to trying to scam us. Just the way that he worded his email, it was very, very suspicious. So he had said in the email that there were no screws in the box that we sent him, which isn't something that he ever mentioned to begin with. He never, like, that would be the first thing. Like, if you get a box and it doesn't have any screws to, like, connect it to the computer, wouldn't that be the first thing? Like, how can you test that it's dead if you don't have screws? So that was the first thing, is that he claimed that there were no screws in the box. And then, that was pretty much it. Well, like, he had said a bunch of other stuff, but he had, in that email, he had basically admitted he had been lying this entire time. So after that, I called eBay back and I said, look, this guy has pretty much admitted that he's lying about this entire thing. And eBay said, yeah, don't have no further communication with him, because there's obviously no point. The case was we knew that he was gonna escalate the case like 2 days later, because he had been saying that's what he was waiting to do, pretty much, was escalate the case. So he escalated the case on the 7th. I called eBay after he had done that. I told them I'm not going to give him a refund unless he ships the part back, and eBay agreed. So they voted on the case, and they said, yeah, we'll tell him to ship the part back. So he shipped the part back. So when I got the part, I called eBay and I said, hey, this guy didn't include all of the pieces to the thing. I need to like file an appeal or talk to somebody. I need to escalate the case because all of the stuff's not included. So they transferred me somewhere. I don't even really remember. I don't remember what it was, but I sat on hold for half an hour. Like, I started to believe that I wasn't actually going to get, they weren't actually going to pick up. So I sat there on hold for half an hour. Some guy finally picks up, And I tell him the situation. I'm like, hey, look, this guy sent us back. He sent us back the part missing pieces. So what the guy had originally said was that there's nothing that they could do because they classify it as a faulty return, and there's not really anything they could do because they can't prove that we sent the pieces to him or that he didn't actually send the pieces to us, even though I had it on camera. So he said that because there's no way to prove it, he was going to ask us to give the guy a refund anyway, even though he didn't include everything. And then he said, you know, what we usually tell people to do is to work it out amongst themselves about, you know, getting the missing pieces back. And I was like, have you even read the messages that have been going on with this guy? Like, there is no working anything out with him. Like, we had to fight with him to get him to even send the damn thing back. There is no way we're going to get him to send back the missing pieces. So he was like, okay. I was like, go read the messages, because it'll explain everything. So the guy was like, all right, I'm going to put you on hold and I'm going to read the messages. So he puts me on hold for another 10 minutes because this is ridiculous. So he comes back and he's like, yeah. The first thing he says is, I wouldn't feel right telling you to give this guy a refund and then you guys missing out, because this is really suspicious. So he reading through all the messages, he knew. He's like, from the very beginning, he was very hostile. He did nothing but threaten you guys. Like, I wouldn't feel right having you guys get missed out on the money that he was supposed to owe us. So he tells me, so we have to give this guy a refund because we told him that we would. So eBay is actually on the hook for the refund. eBay is giving him the refund. But the money that he was sitting in PayPal that was pending, it got released to my husband. So he said, we're going to release the money that was on hold because of the case, and your husband is going to get paid, and the buyer's going to get paid, but what we're going to do next is investigate him, because he didn't like the way that the guy talked to us. He didn't like the communication, it was very sketchy. So he said, we're going to have, I'm going to escalate this to our investigative department. They're going to investigate him. They're going to check through all of if he's got any open cases, previous cases, messages, like buyer activity, seller activity. They're going to check all of his stuff, because I'm pretty sure that he's running some kind of scam here. And the one thing that pretty much solidified it to me is the box that he sent it back in. So we sent the item to Florida, like Pensacola, Florida or something. And this guy is in Minnesota or Michigan. I should probably look this up so I'm not an idiot anymore. It's Minnesota, okay. I don't know what I had been saying before. I hope I had been saying Minnesota, but so we shipped it to Florida. The guy lives in Minnesota. So one of the boxes, so he had shipped this big box, and then there were like 3 or 4 other boxes in the boxes, like sort of to like protect it, I guess, and they all had return labels from somebody. Like they'd used boxes that somebody else had sent in, and they used that as like filler material. So one of the boxes was the box that had my husband's part in it, and it came from the return label. I looked at the return label. It came from Florida. It shipped to Minnesota on the 4th. So we shipped, the part got received on the 1st. This guy never actually even saw the part, which is the funniest part to me. Is we shipped it somewhere. It was like J&M Industries. It must be some place that he works with or something. So we had shipped this part to J&M Industries, and they shipped it to him when he probably called them and was like, I'm having an issue with this, send me the part or whatever. So then it shipped from Minnesota back to us, and the box that it was in, like they put it in a different box that wasn't the box that we originally sent it in, and they taped it up and they put it in the box and they shipped it to him, and then he shipped that box in the other box with all the other boxes. This is sounding totally confusing, I'm pretty sure. I forgot my under eye corrector. You know what, whatever, I'm not even gonna worry about it today. So they shipped, so then once he got the box, he put it in another box and shipped it to us. He didn't even open the box that they sent to him, because it was all taped up still, and it was the original taping. So I found that really interesting, is that he never even actually tested the part himself. He never looked at the part. So the reason why he thought there were no screws is because he didn't actually see the package to know that there was stuff in it besides the part. So whatever. I hope something happens to him. I hope something happens to him, because he was just, this whole thing was just stupid. But either way, my husband got the money. They're investigating him. So it's a win. Like, because I told the guy on the phone, like, I wasn't comfortable giving him a refund when he didn't send back the entire part. So my husband won. At least according to me, he won, because he got his money and the guy's going to get investigated. So there's that situation. That's over. My husband is done. I'm done. I would suggest anybody not sell on eBay. Like, it is too much of a hassle. Unless you sell for a living and you've already got like a reputable store with like ratings and stuff, I would say don't even bother, because there is too much sketchy stuff going on out there that it's just not worth it. So that pretty much took up the last couple of weeks, and not much else has been going on. There's one thing I'm going to talk about at like a later time. Today's Sunday. Tuesday, my husband and I have a doctor's appointment because we've been dealing with some infertility stuff, and he's got like some tests that he needs to take on Tuesday, and then the week after that is our actual doctor's appointment. So probably after that doctor's appointment, when we find out the results of his test, I'll probably talk about it a little bit more. But otherwise, right now, there's a lot that I could talk about, but I'm just not going to talk about it until I've got some more information. So just know that that's coming. And if you have an issue with fertility or infertility, like, I know all of our situations are a little bit different, but I always like hearing other people's stories because it makes me feel like I'm not alone. So just know that that's coming probably in a couple of weeks. Other than that, let's see what's happening in my life. I'm working on something that I'm going to be putting up on my channel. It's not beauty or makeup related or anything like that. It's actually food related. So if you're interested in like vegan food videos and stuff like that, let me know. I mean, I'll probably still do it anyway, but because I said in my welcome video that I didn't want to just focus on like makeup and skincare and stuff, because I do have other interests in my life besides that. So I will be putting up from time to time videos that don't surround or that aren't related to makeup, and this will be one of them, and I'm working on it. I just wanted to get like a good amount of stuff done for it before I started recording. So I'll probably record that next weekend, because I just finished the second thing for it, and I'm ready to start recording. But I've got some other videos that I want to record today, which hopefully I'll have time to do after this one, because I need to get out of here by 3:50, because I have to pick up my husband for lunch. He's at work today, and I don't even know what time it is right now. It's 3:04, so hopefully I can finish this up pretty quick. So I'm just going to do a little bit of something to my eyes. I don't do a whole lot because, I mean, I just don't. So none of this stuff is in my 10 pan, so I'm just sort of going by some other stuff that I've got. I'm just going to use like a light brown color in my crease. I'm just doing something like really neutral and like light, just, you know, to add a little bit of something, but not a lot, because I'm just going to the grocery store, I'm going to lunch, I'm going to Target probably, and then I'm going to come home and clean, and that's really all I'm doing today. So, but yeah, I feel like there was something else that I was going to talk about, but now I can't remember what it was. So yeah, so the eBay thing worked itself out. I considered doing like a tip video on how to deal with like eBay scammers and like problems with eBay, but I don't know. I considered it. I might work on it and just see, maybe put it up like on a Friday, like not on my regular scheduled video days, and just see how it goes. So that was like a matte brownie color, and I'm going to use this Allure from Brija, the Glamour to Go collection. It's just like a shimmery brown color. I'm just sort of keeping it neutral and light today. And So other than that, so we're just dealing with baby stuff, which I know that a few other of you guys are. So I wanted to talk about, I want to do my take about that too. I know that some of you guys aren't as like open to talking about it because it's so painful and stuff, but I have an easier time talking about it. I mean, for me, like if I talk about stuff, and if somebody's like listening and understands, it's easier for me to deal with. So like, because most of the time I don't have a lot of people to talk to. Like one of the things I'm dealing with right now is sort of like my friend issue. I keep a pretty close group of friends, at least I try, because I'd rather have a few good friends than, you know, like a lot of, you know, acquaintances or whatever. I've just never been the kind of person who needs like a lot of, I don't know. I've been more of the kind of person who likes to keep a few close friends. So the the 3 friends that have been my closest since high school ended, like we're just coming up on our 10-year reunion, so that tells you how old I am. But the few friends that I've kept since high school ended, like I've been pretty close with, but I mean, it just sort of seems now that as we're getting older, like our lives are changing, like I don't hear from them as much, and when I try to plan stuff with my friends, they cancel on me and then they don't reschedule. So I mean, that's been getting me pretty down too, is that the people that I thought were my friends for like a really long time, like they're just not making an effort anymore, and I don't know if it's me. They're not making an effort because it's me, or I mean their lives are crazy, but I mean I just feel like I'm the only one who tries, and it really gets me down, like, which is one of the other reasons why I really wanted to like get into this YouTube thing, to get to know more people, because I have no way outside of this to get to know other people. Like I work from home, so I don't see anybody all day. I just see my husband and my family pretty much as the only people that I see ever. And you know, I need to get to know some other people, and this was a good way for me to do it. And all of the ladies in this natural green community, cruelty-free community, are like super sweet, and I love them all. And you know, I just want to be friends with all of you guys, and I hope you want to be friends with me, because I need some more friends in my life. I don't have very many. So, I mean, that's the only other thing really that I'm dealing with that's sort of like emotional, is not having any friends these days, not having anybody to talk to. So I'm just gonna do mascara really quick. It's so hard to use this thing. This brush is gigantic. I have to be like super careful every time I use it, because every time I go to put it on, like I get it on my lid. Oh, I think I just got it underneath my eyes. Oh, no, we're good. It just felt like it. Like when I blinked really hard, it felt like my lashes like hit my under eye area, and I was like, ah, okay. So anyway, so that's my project. Use it up. Get ready with me, chit chat, whatever. Listen to me rant about things and talk about things, and I just wish, you know, I didn't set my makeup. I just wish you guys were here. We could go to lunch or something, because I need somebody to talk to. But, so that was it. I'll probably do these maybe every couple of weeks, every time I've got something to talk about on Fridays. Like usually I try to do my upload schedule. Well, I do my upload schedule every Sundays and Wednesdays, and that's more of like content stuff. And I was thinking like Fridays I would do stuff more non-related to content, you know, like get ready with me's, or like if I do an eBay tip video, like that would probably go up on a Friday. So so yeah, so I'll probably see you in a couple weeks. Well, you'll see me on Wednesday, because I'm going to be filming another couple of videos. But I'll see you in a chit chat in a couple of weeks. Alright, thanks for listening to me go on for 20 plus minutes. I was trying not to do this as long, and I'm continuing to talk, so I'll see you later. Bye.